Deep within the heart of the Amazon, where the river carves endless paths through a labyrinth of emerald canopy, ancient stories flow as powerfully as the currents themselves. Here, the river is not merely a body of water. It is a living, breathing entity, shaping the land and the lives of every creature within its reach. Among the most enduring legends is that of the Yacumama, the mother of water, a creature said to dwell in the river's most secretive bends and shadowed depths. In myth, she is the guardian of all aquatic life, her presence woven into the very fabric of the ecosystem. Indigenous communities such as the Shipibo, Waorani and Ashaninka have passed down tales for generations, describing a serpent of unimaginable size, a silent ruler of the waterways, both feared and revered as a guardian spirit. These oral histories are rich with symbolism, reflecting a profound respect for the interconnectedness of all life in the Amazon. Witnesses speak of a creature whose body rivals the girth of ancient trees, its scales so perfectly camouflaged that it vanishes into the muddy riverbed, moving with a stealth that defies belief. It is said to sense the world not through sight, but through the faintest tremors in the water, detecting the approach of prey or danger from miles away. This extraordinary sensitivity mirrors the real-world adaptations of aquatic giants like the Anaconda, whose mechanoreceptors allow them to perceive even the subtlest vibrations. The Yacumama is believed to be more than a mere animal. It is the living spirit of the river itself, a force capable of shaping the very land. Locals claim to have seen enormous tracks pressed into the muddy banks, as if something colossal had passed by, altering the course of streams and leaving behind a silent warning. In scientific terms, the Amazon's dynamic hydrology and seasonal flooding do reshape the landscape, but for those who dwell here, these changes are the footprints of the Mother of Water. These stories are not just myths, but ancestral knowledge, cautionary tales that teach respect for the river's unpredictable power and the unseen forces that dwell beneath its surface. The currents themselves seem to conceal secrets, swirling with energies that hint at the presence of something vast and ancient. Scientists have discovered that the Amazon harbours more undiscovered species than any other river system on Earth, its depths concealing mysteries that continue to elude modern exploration. For those who live along the Amazon, the legend of the Yacumama shapes daily existence. It determines where it is safe to fish, which stretches of river to avoid, and how to travel with caution in a world where humans are never truly in control. The river's moods, its sudden floods, hidden whirlpools and shifting channels are all attributed to the will of the Mother of Water. In this vast wilderness, ancient beings are believed to still hold sway. Survival depends on listening to the whispers of the past, honouring the mysteries that ripple beneath the surface, and respecting the power of the Mother of Water, the Amazon's greatest enigma. The Yacumama endures as both a symbol of nature's majesty and a reminder that, in the Amazon, the line between myth and reality is as fluid as the river itself. In the heart of the Amazon, where the river carves its way through a labyrinth of emerald canopy, ancient rituals have long governed the delicate balance between humans and the wild. These time-honoured practices are not arbitrary. They are the culmination of generations of acute observation, adaptation, and respect for a world alive with unseen forces and formidable creatures. Among the Shipibo and other indigenous cultures, the ritual of blowing a conch shell before venturing into unknown waters is steeped in both reverence and practicality. The deep, resonant call of the shell travels across the river's surface, its vibrations weaving through the morning mist. This act is believed to communicate with the river's spirits, but it also serves a crucial ecological function, alerting the hidden denizens of the water to the presence of an intruder. In recent years, biologists and herpetologists have come to appreciate the wisdom embedded in these rituals. Before commencing their research, they deliberately generate vibrations, tapping the hulls of their boats or striking the water's surface. These signals travel swiftly through the river, warning large aquatic predators such as the elusive anaconda of their approach. This methodical precaution minimizes the risk of sudden encounters, safeguarding both the researchers and the creatures that inhabit these waters. Scientific investigation has revealed that anacondas possess highly specialized mechanoreceptors within their jaws. These organs are exquisitely tuned to detect low-frequency vibrations propagating through water. The conch-shell's sonorous tone, rich in these frequencies, acts as an early warning system, alerting the snake to disturbances long before any visual contact is possible. The convergence of indigenous ritual and scientific methodology is both profound and illuminating. What was once dismissed as mystical is now recognized as a sophisticated form of environmental signaling, an intuitive understanding of animal behavior and sensory biology that predates formal scientific inquiry by centuries. The conch shell, imbued with layers of spiritual meaning, is also a finely tuned acoustic instrument. Its use bridges the tangible and the intangible, serving as both a tool for survival and a symbol of reverence for the interconnectedness of all life within the rainforest. In the Amazon, the boundaries between science and tradition dissolve. Each discipline enriches the other, creating a holistic understanding of the environment. The accumulated wisdom of indigenous peoples, refined through countless generations, now finds affirmation in the precise language of modern research. As the first light of day illuminates the river, we are reminded that the most enduring knowledge springs from the land itself. Here, ancient rituals and scientific discovery walk in tandem, guiding us through the enigmatic depths of the Amazon and revealing the profound unity between tradition and modern understanding. The Amazon rainforest, shrouded in mist and mystery, has long been a cradle for legends of colossal serpents. Yet these tales are increasingly grounded in scientific discovery. Evidence is steadily revealing a history of true giants beneath the jungle canopy, far beyond the reach of human memory. Fossilized remains unearthed from ancient rock layers provide tangible proof of enormous snakes that once dominated these lands. Each vertebra, massive and perfectly preserved, tells a story of a world where reptiles ruled the waterways. The bones of Titanoboa, in particular, are so large that a single vertebra rivals the size of a human head, and the skull reveals a jaw capable of swallowing large prey whole. In 2009, paleontologists made a groundbreaking discovery in Colombia's Cerrejón coal mines, the Titanoboa cerrejonensis. This prehistoric serpent stretched up to 50 feet in length and weighed more than 2,000 pounds, dwarfing even the largest modern snakes. Titanoboa's body was thick as an oil drum, and its musculature allowed it to constrict and overpower massive prey, including ancient turtles and crocodilian ancestors. Titanoboa thrived in the hot, humid swamps of the Paleocene epoch, gliding silently through murky waters and preying on giant turtles and crocodilian ancestors. Its immense size was made possible by the warm climate, which allowed cold-blooded reptiles to grow to extraordinary proportions. The average annual temperature of the Paleocene Amazon was estimated to be around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, creating an environment where such a massive reptile could maintain its metabolism and outcompete other predators. The discovery of Titanoboa revolutionized our understanding of snake evolution, proving that the Amazon once supported reptiles of unimaginable scale. Scientists now use these fossils to trace the lineage and adaptation of modern snakes, revealing how environmental changes such as cooling climates and shifting ecosystems led to the decline of such giants and the rise of smaller, more specialized species. Today, the green Anaconda reigns as the largest living snake, with some individuals exceeding 20 feet. In rare cases, specimens have been documented at lengths approaching 30 feet, with girths thick enough to rival a grown man's waist. These snakes are perfectly adapted to their aquatic environment, using their powerful bodies to ambush prey such as caimans, capybaras, and even large fish. These modern giants, though smaller than Titanoboa, are formidable predators, capable of ambushing caimans and capybaras in the tangled waterways of the Amazon basin. Their eyes and nostrils are positioned atop their heads, allowing them to remain nearly invisible while stalking prey from beneath the water's surface. In 2024, a team of scientists, guided by ecological data and remote sensing technology, ventured into remote river systems and identified a new species, the northern green anaconda. This elusive serpent inhabits isolated waterways, hidden from the outside world, and is rarely observed due to its secretive behavior and the inaccessibility of its habitat. Genetic analysis confirmed that this anaconda is distinct from its southern relatives, thriving in the very rivers where the legendary Yacumama is said to dwell. Its camouflage and stealth make it nearly invisible in the dense aquatic vegetation, and its diet consists of a wide range of aquatic and semi-aquatic animals, from fish to large mammals. These discoveries bridge the gap between ancient myth and modern science, revealing that the line separating legend from reality is thinner than once believed. The evolutionary legacy of Titanoboa lives on in the Amazon's waterways, embodied by the green anaconda and its newly discovered northern cousin. As researchers continue to explore the Amazon's labyrinth of rivers and forests, the possibility of encountering even larger serpents remains alive, hidden in the shadows, waiting to be unveiled. The dense vegetation and vast uncharted waterways provide countless refuges for undiscovered species, and the region's biodiversity continues to surprise scientists with each new expedition. In the depths of the jungle, science and legend are converging, painting a vivid portrait of a world where giants once reigned and may still linger just out of sight. The story of Titanoboa and its modern descendants is a testament to the Amazon's enduring power to conceal, reveal, and inspire awe through the lens of scientific discovery. The discovery of the northern green anaconda is just the beginning, a single thread in the intricate tapestry of the Amazon's biological enigmas. Beneath the emerald canopy, and within the labyrinthine waterways, the rainforest conceals a multitude of life forms, many of which have never been seen or classified by science. Today, researchers employ a groundbreaking tool, environmental DNA or eDNA, to peer into this hidden world. By collecting water samples from the Amazon's endless rivers, streams, and flooded forests, scientists gather microscopic genetic fragments left behind by every organism that moves through these waters. Each droplet of river water is a molecular archive containing traces of shed skin, scales, mucus, or waste. These genetic fingerprints allow scientists to detect the presence of elusive or even entirely unknown species, without ever needing a direct encounter. In recent years, eDNA surveys have revealed genetic signatures in isolated tributaries that do not match any known animal. Some of these sequences hint at the existence of massive reptiles and other enigmatic creatures, challenging the boundaries of current scientific classification. This innovative approach mirrors the discovery of the Araguaia river dolphin, a species long known to local communities but only officially recognized in 2014 through genetic analysis. The revelation of its unique DNA confirmed the presence of a new species, hidden in plain sight within the Amazon's vast waterways. Indigenous knowledge, preserved through generations, often points to extraordinary creatures and phenomena that science is only now beginning to verify. These stories, etched into artifacts and oral traditions, serve as vital clues in the ongoing quest to understand the Amazon's true diversity. The sheer scale and complexity of the rainforest mean that countless species remain undetected, their existence revealed only by fleeting genetic traces in the environment. The Amazon's dense foliage and shadowy waters are a living archive, holding secrets that have yet to be deciphered. Environmental DNA is revolutionizing the search for new species. By analyzing these invisible genetic markers, scientists are building a dynamic inventory of the Amazon's biodiversity, one molecule at a time. This method enables the detection of rare, cryptic, or even previously unknown organisms, expanding our understanding of the rainforest's living heritage. As technology advances, the Amazon's hidden giants and mysterious creatures may finally be brought into the light of scientific discovery. The rainforest mysteries are far from solved. Each new strand of DNA brings us closer to unveiling the true extent of life within this unparalleled ecosystem. For centuries, the Amazon's labyrinthine waterways and impenetrable forests have concealed secrets that defy explanation. Early naturalists and explorers, driven by curiosity and awe, meticulously documented their encounters with the unknown. Their journals describe not only the overwhelming scale of the rainforest, but also the chilling silence that would fall as something unseen glided beneath the tangled canopy, leaving only ripples and the sudden hush of wildlife in its wake. In 1907, Colonel Percy Fawcett, a meticulous British surveyor, recorded an encounter with a snake he estimated at over 60 feet long. His detailed field notes included precise sketches and coordinates, which for decades were dismissed as exaggeration. Yet, with the advent of high-resolution satellite imaging, researchers have identified a massive serpentine formation at the very site Fawcett described. A coil so large it is only discernible from the sky, its outline echoing the scale and curvature found in his original drawings. Over the decades, satellite and aerial surveys have revealed a pattern of immense winding trails pressed deep into the mud along isolated riverbanks. These impressions, some stretching for dozens of meters, are far larger than any known anaconda could produce. The tracks often begin at the water's edge and vanish abruptly into the thickest parts of the forest, their scale and depth suggesting the recent passage of something truly colossal. In 2017, a scientific team deployed thermal drones over a secluded stretch of river, far from any human settlement. The sensors detected a single uninterrupted heat signature, nearly 40 feet in length, moving just beneath the surface. On the muddy banks, researchers found fresh, 2-foot-wide tracks pressed deep into the saturated earth, evidence of a recent powerful presence. The thermal trail, captured in high detail, revealed a slow, deliberate movement, unlike any known aquatic animal in the region. Underwater cameras, lowered into the opaque depths, have captured fleeting glimpses of elongated, shadowy forms gliding through the silt-laden water. The footage, though brief and often obscured by debris, reveals creatures of extraordinary length and girth, outlines that vanish into the gloom before any clear identification is possible. Each sighting adds another layer to the mystery, hinting at a presence that remains just out of reach. By overlaying historic expedition maps with the latest satellite data, researchers have begun to trace intricate patterns, pinpointing locations where old accounts and new evidence align. The fusion of archival sketches with digital imagery reveals a persistent thread. Sightings and physical clues consistently cluster along the most inaccessible and least disturbed waterways, where human presence is rare and the forest remains untouched. Beneath the churning surface, subtle disturbances ripple outward, waves and eddies that cannot be explained by wind or current alone. Shadows shift and merge in the depths, hinting at the silent passage of something immense. These fleeting signs, captured by sensitive equipment, suggest a hidden world where giants may still roam, undetected by all but the most vigilant eyes. The ancient myths, once dismissed as mere superstition, now resonate with new possibility. As technology peels back the layers of legend, the boundary between folklore and fact grows ever thinner. Each new discovery, whether a satellite anomaly or a thermal signature, adds depth to the story, suggesting that the truth may be stranger than the oldest tales. The search continues, propelled by a fusion of historical testimony and cutting-edge science. Each new clue, whether a centuries-old sketch or a modern satellite anomaly, brings us closer to unravelling the Amazon's greatest enigma. Somewhere in the shadows of this vast wild frontier, the answer may still be waiting, hidden just beyond the reach of human discovery. Deep within the Amazon, nature's most formidable giants are not just possible, they are inevitable. This vast ancient rainforest is a crucible of evolution, where the interplay of climate, geography and time has forged some of the largest and most mysterious creatures on Earth. The Amazon basin is a world apart, where the relentless abundance of life and the absence of harsh seasons create a unique evolutionary pressure. Here the climate is stable and tropical, with high humidity and temperatures rarely dipping below 25 degrees Celsius. This consistency allows cold-blooded animals, like snakes, to thrive and grow without interruption. Unlike mammals, snakes never stop growing. Their size is determined by the availability of food and warmth, two resources the Amazon provides in abundance. The rainforest teems with prey, capybaras, birds, fish, and even caimans. With no cold season to halt their metabolism, these reptiles can feed and grow year-round, reaching sizes unimaginable elsewhere. According to Bergman's rule, cold-blooded animals tend to grow larger in warmer environments. The Amazon's consistently high temperatures accelerate metabolism and growth, pushing these reptiles to their biological limits. The dense canopy traps heat and moisture, creating a greenhouse effect that further amplifies these conditions. The discovery of a 33-foot anaconda in 2015 and the fossil record of the 50-foot Titanoboa are not anomalies. They are the natural outcome of these extraordinary conditions. Over millions of years, the Amazon has repeatedly produced giants, each adapted to the ever-changing landscape and climate. In isolated pockets, such as secluded lagoons or flooded forests, anacondas can access a steady supply of prey, from capybaras to caimans. These isolated habitats reduce competition and predation, allowing the largest individuals to dominate and pass on their genes. Over generations, this abundance and isolation drive the evolution of ever larger snakes. The dense jungle canopy and labyrinthine waterways offer both shelter and hunting grounds, allowing these giants to thrive undetected. Their immense size is limited only by the ecosystem's carrying capacity, the delicate balance between available resources and the needs of these colossal predators. In the Amazon, where warmth, food, and isolation converge, evolution favours the bold. Over millennia, these forces have sculpted a realm where monsters are not just legends, but living realities, hidden in the shadows of the world's greatest jungle, waiting to be discovered. Deep within the Amazon, vast stretches of untouched wilderness conceal some of the planet's most extreme and ancient environments. The Amazon basin, spanning over 2 million square miles, is a living relic of Earth's primordial past, a place where evolution has unfolded in near isolation for millions of years. Here, the interplay of relentless heat, crushing humidity and perpetual rainfall creates a crucible for life, forging micro-ecosystems found nowhere else on Earth. One of the most extraordinary examples is the boiling river in Peru, where geothermal forces heat the water to nearly 200 degrees Fahrenheit. This natural marvel carves a ribbon of steam through the jungle, its banks lined with dense foliage and mineral-rich mud, creating a habitat that is both hostile and uniquely nurturing for specialized life forms. These geothermally charged waters replicate the steamy, oxygen-rich habitats that once nurtured prehistoric giants like Titanoboa. The riverbed, layered with ancient sediments and teeming with resilient aquatic plants, offers a rare glimpse into the world as it existed millions of years ago, an environment where colossal reptiles once reigned. In these secluded, mineral-rich rivers, the conditions could support the survival of enormous reptiles, giant snakes that retain ancient adaptations perfectly suited to the warmth, humidity and secrecy of their environment. The dense vegetation and labyrinthine waterways provide endless cover, allowing such creatures to remain hidden from the outside world. These isolated waterways act as natural sanctuaries, preserving relic species and shielding them from the outside world. Within these pockets of ancient ecosystem, evolutionary time seems to slow, allowing lineages that vanished elsewhere to persist, unchanged and undisturbed. Satellite imagery reveals countless hidden tributaries, their locations masked by dense foliage and impenetrable canopy. Many of these waterways have never been mapped or explored, and within these secret corridors, unique ecosystems may flourish, untouched by modern influences and insulated from environmental change. Biologists suggest that in such optimal conditions, abundant prey, stable temperatures and minimal disturbance, anacondas could reach unprecedented sizes, potentially exceeding 40 feet. The Amazon's vast hidden waterways provide the perfect refuge for these giants, pushing the boundaries of what is considered possible for living snakes. As dawn breaks over the boiling river, the swirling mists evoke the presence of ancient serpents. In these rare hidden sanctuaries, the legend of the Yacumama may not just survive, it could thrive, a living echo of the prehistoric past, sheltered by the Amazon's enduring wilderness and the secrets it keeps from the modern world. As scientific exploration brings us closer to unraveling the secrets of the Yacumama, the Amazon itself faces a crisis that could erase these mysteries forever. The rainforest, a living tapestry woven over millions of years, is now under siege from relentless deforestation, an assault that threatens not only its legendary creatures, but the very foundation of its complex ecosystems. Vast stretches of once impenetrable forest are being stripped away, replaced by barren landscapes and scars visible even from space. The relentless advance of chainsaws and bulldozers carves deep wounds into the earth, fragmenting habitats that have remained undisturbed for centuries. Every minute, an area the size of a football field vanishes. Trees topple, roots torn from the earth, exposing fragile soil to the relentless sun and rain. The land, once shaded and cool, becomes vulnerable to erosion, its nutrients leached away, leaving behind a barren wasteland where life struggles to return. This destruction shatters intricate habitats, leaving behind silence where vibrant life once thrived. Nests, burrows, and entire micro-ecosystems are lost before their inhabitants can even be studied. The delicate balance that sustains countless species is disrupted, and the rainforest's web of life unravels thread by thread. The Amazon's labyrinth of waterways, once pristine and undisturbed, now faces fragmentation and pollution. Sediment and chemicals seep into the rivers, clouding the waters and disrupting delicate aquatic life. The intricate network that connects the forest's heart to its farthest reaches is being severed, threatening species that depend on these hidden corridors. As the forest recedes, so too do the legends it harbours. The Yacumama, if it exists, may slip away into myth, vanishing before we have the chance to confirm its reality. The loss is not only ecological, but cultural, a fading of stories that have shaped the identity of the Amazon for generations. History reminds us that nature's giants can remain hidden for generations. The coelacanth, thought extinct, was rediscovered after millions of years, proof that the unknown still lurks in the depths. But with each acre lost, the possibility of such discoveries diminishes, and the rainforest's secrets slip further from our grasp. Yet, the tragedy of deforestation is not just the loss of trees, but the erasure of legends and the silencing of stories that have shaped cultures for centuries. The rainforest is a living archive, its myths and mysteries intertwined with the fate of its ancient trees. Within the untouched rainforest, countless species, many still unknown to science, find refuge. Each clearing, each fallen tree, risks erasing a discovery that could change our understanding of life itself. The Amazon is a frontier of knowledge, its depths concealing answers to questions we have yet to ask. Protecting the Amazon is more than an environmental cause. It is a race to preserve the world's greatest reservoir of secrets. The quest for the Yacumama is inseparable from the fight for the rainforest's future and for the mysteries that still lie hidden beneath its emerald canopy. Only by safeguarding this irreplaceable wilderness can we hope to uncover the truths that await in its shadowed depths. The Amazon rainforest stretches across millions of acres, its vastness concealing countless secrets beneath a canopy so dense that sunlight barely touches the forest floor. Here, the air is thick with humidity, and the ground is a mosaic of roots, fungi, and decaying leaves. An ecosystem layered in complexity where every inch teems with life. Winding rivers carve through the wilderness, forming a labyrinth of waterways, over 99% of which have never been surveyed at ground level. Each tributary is a world unto itself, potentially sheltering species unknown to science, ancient geological formations, or remnants of vanished ecosystems. The riverbanks are lined with rare orchids, carnivorous plants, and amphibians that have evolved in isolation, their adaptations shaped by the relentless cycle of flood and drought. Remarkably, we possess more detailed maps of Mars than we do of the Amazon's riverbeds. The depths of these waters remain shrouded in darkness, their silty currents obscuring what lies beneath. In these submerged realms, visibility drops to nothing, and the riverbed is a shifting landscape of sandbars, fallen logs, and hidden crevices. Fossilized remains of ancient serpents, shadowy shapes glimpsed beneath the surface, and credible reports from explorers all hint at the presence of creatures that defy our understanding. The sediment preserves traces of prehistoric giants, while the present-day river may still shelter their elusive descendants, perfectly camouflaged in the gloom. The dense undergrowth and tangled roots provide perfect cover for giants, creatures that may have survived undetected for centuries, adapting to the ever-changing environment. Here, survival depends on stealth and patience. Predators and prey alike move in silence, their presence betrayed only by a fleeting shadow or a rustle in the leaves. The Amazon's unique climate, humid, warm and teeming with life, creates habitats unlike any other on Earth. Here, evolution takes unexpected turns, producing forms and behaviors unseen elsewhere. In the perpetual twilight beneath the canopy, bioluminescent fungi glow on fallen logs, and insects communicate with flashes of light, weaving a tapestry of life that is both ancient and ever-changing. The legend of the Mother of Water is more than a myth. It is a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that discovery is an ongoing journey. Each bend in the river, each shadow beneath the surface could reveal something extraordinary. The Amazon's mysteries are not confined to legend. They are written in the DNA of its creatures, in the patterns of its waterways, and in the silent depths where sunlight never reaches. Beneath the swirling silt and within submerged caves, entire worlds remain hidden. Ecosystems untouched by human eyes, where ancient life persists in silence. These isolated pockets harbour species that have never seen the sun, their existence a testament to the resilience and adaptability of life in the most extreme conditions. In the heart of the jungle, where mist clings to ancient trees and dawn reveals landscapes unchanged for millennia, the Amazon guards its mysteries fiercely. Some secrets may never be uncovered, but the allure of the unknown endures, inviting us to keep searching and to wonder what still lies hidden in this unexplored realm. Beneath the winding rivers of the Amazon, a hidden world sprawls in utter darkness, one that remains even more mysterious than the rainforest canopy above. These submerged cave systems are ancient, their passageways sculpted by relentless water flow and tectonic shifts over millions of years. The mineral-laden walls glisten faintly, bearing the marks of geological epochs. Accessed only through narrow fissures or deep, flooded sinkholes, these labyrinths stretch for untold miles beneath the forest floor. Most remain uncharted, their true extent hidden from scientific understanding. Occasionally, shafts of sunlight pierce the gloom, illuminating chambers adorned with glittering mineral deposits, delicate stalactites, and curtains of calcite. The interplay of light and shadow reveals the intricate architecture of these submerged cathedrals. Life here has adapted to perpetual night. Schools of blind, pigmentless fish navigate by touch and vibration, their bodies streamlined for the slow, silent currents. Some species are found nowhere else on Earth, their evolution shaped by isolation and darkness. The cave floors are blanketed with layers of nutrient-rich sediment and organic debris, washed in from the rainforest above. Here, ancient conditions persist, cold, undisturbed and oxygen-poor, creating a refuge for reclusive or even relic species. In the deepest corridors, shadows twist and merge, sometimes forming the fleeting outline of something immense, a shape that stirs the imagination and deepens the mystery of the Amazon's legendary serpents. Sonar scans and remote cameras deployed in the blackness have occasionally captured the presence of massive, sinuous forms. These shapes vanish into the gloom as quickly as they appear, leaving only questions in their wake. The cave systems themselves are a maze of twisting tunnels, hidden air pockets, and silty chambers. Some passages are so narrow that only the smallest creatures can pass, while others open into vast cathedral-like vaults. These complex structures provide countless hiding places for large, elusive animals, allowing them to thrive undetected. Scientists believe these caves act as evolutionary time capsules. Fossils embedded in the mineral walls hint at lineages that vanished from the surface millions of years ago, preserved in the cold, stable environment below. Isolation within these caves has led to remarkable adaptations, gigantism, bioluminescence, and unique feeding strategies. Some creatures grow to extraordinary sizes, while others develop entirely new ways to sense their environment, relying on vibrations, chemical cues, or faint electrical fields. Every unexplored shaft plunges into deeper darkness, where the faintest echo hints at unseen movement. The silence is profound, broken only by the distant rush of subterranean water or the subtle shift of sediment. As our virtual lens drifts deeper, the environment becomes increasingly alien. The pressure mounts, the temperature drops, and the only sounds are the gentle currents and the occasional ripple of unseen life. In these submerged depths, the boundaries between reality and myth dissolve. The interplay of geological wonder and biological adaptation creates an environment where the extraordinary seems possible. The enigma of the great river serpents persists, concealed within the labyrinthine abyss below, awaiting discovery in the Amazon's most inaccessible realm. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Amazon, a world of perpetual twilight unfolds, a realm where survival is dictated by the relentless interplay of predator and prey. Here, every shadow conceals a story of adaptation, and every ripple hints at the presence of a hunter or the desperate flight of its quarry. The Amazon's ecosystem is a living mosaic, each organism, no matter how small, woven into a vast interdependent network. From the iridescent wings of dragonflies skimming the water's surface to the silent glide of giant serpents below, every creature fulfills a role in this intricate tapestry. Armored catfish, their bodies encased in bony plates, move in synchronized shoals across the riverbed. They sift through sediments, consuming detritus and algae, recycling nutrients that sustain the entire aquatic community. These resilient fish form the bedrock of the food chain, their abundance attracting a host of opportunistic predators, each one perfectly adapted to exploit the river's bounty. Electric eels, masters of the murky depths, navigate labyrinths of submerged roots. With a flicker of muscle, they unleash bursts of electricity, stunning prey and deterring would-be rivals in a display of biological ingenuity. In these shadowed waters, electric eels and piranhas circle each other warily. The piranhas, infamous for their razor-sharp teeth and pack-hunting tactics, add a constant undercurrent of tension to the river's depths. Above the waterline, the dense undergrowth conceals capybaras as they cautiously approach the river's edge. Oblivious to the silent threats below, their presence is a signal to the patient predators lurking beneath the surface. The anaconda, a master of stealth, glides unseen through tangled branches and floating vegetation. Its muscular body, patterned in perfect camouflage, moves with ghostly silence, betraying no hint of its lethal intent. In a sudden, explosive burst, the anaconda strikes, coiling its immense body around its prey with astonishing speed and power. This apex predator's ambush is a marvel of evolutionary precision. Deeper in the flooded forest, caimans glide through still waters, their eyes just above the surface. These ancient reptiles compete with giant snakes for fish, amphibians, and the occasional unwary bird, each encounter a silent contest of strength and strategy. The abundance of prey, shoals of fish, darting frogs and flocks of birds, sustains this extraordinary diversity of predators. It is this richness that allows giants to thrive in the Amazon's depths. Each year, the river's pulse transforms the landscape. Seasonal floods inundate vast tracts of forest, creating a submerged labyrinth where new opportunities and dangers emerge with the rising waters. Nutrient-rich floodwaters spread through the forest, triggering explosions of breeding activity. Swarms of fish migrate into the flooded trees, while amphibians and reptiles lay their eggs in newly accessible habitats. Along muddy banks, clusters of eggs, turtle or snake, lie hidden, their fate tied to the rhythms of water and the vigilance of predators. Each egg is a fragile promise of the next generation. Above the water, synchronized hatches of insects create a fleeting feast. Fish leap to snatch them from the air, while amphibians gather in droves, their calls echoing through the flooded forest. The Amazon's food web is a marvel of complexity. From the smallest insect to the largest snake, every life is bound by invisible threads, each interaction shaping the fate of countless others. Every encounter, every adaptation is a testament to millions of years of evolution, an ongoing arms race between predator and prey, where only the most adaptable survive. In the depths of the Amazon, life is not a solitary struggle, but a symphony of connections. From the glint of a fish's scale to the silent passage of a giant snake, every secret is part of a greater whole, a living web where survival depends on the harmony of predator and prey. In the dense fog that rises from the Amazon's waterways, ancient legends swirl as thickly as the morning mist, each wisp concealing stories that have shaped the very soul of this vast wilderness. For centuries, indigenous tribes have passed down stories of colossal serpents, beings that dwell in the river's darkest reaches, their immense forms gliding silently beneath the surface, shaping both the landscape and the fate of those who live nearby. These tales are more than folklore. They are a living record of the relationship between the wild, untamed heart of the Amazon and the creatures that inhabit its depths. Visuals transition to intricate carvings etched into stone and wood, depicting serpentine forms coiled around trees and rivers, evidence of a reverence for these enigmatic giants, their presence immortalized in the very fabric of the forest. The Yacumama, or Mother of Waters, is said to be so vast that she can swallow a canoe whole, her breath the cause of swirling whirlpools that pull the unwary beneath the surface. In the myth, her domain is marked by sudden, violent currents and unexplained disturbances in the water. In other stories, the Boyuna, the black snake, is a shapeshifter. Her luminous eyes seen glowing just above the waterline on moonless nights. Her presence blamed for sudden disappearances and mysterious storms that erupt without warning, as if conjured by her will. As the camera glides through the mist-shrouded riverbanks, the narrative shifts. Scientific inquiry pierces the haze of myth, seeking the origins of these stories in the observable world. Could memories of prehistoric giants like the Titanoboa, an ancient snake that once ruled these lands, stretching over 40 feet in length, have been preserved through oral tradition, their fossilized remains echoing in the legends of today? Or do sightings of massive anacondas, rarely glimpsed but occasionally measured at lengths surpassing 20 feet, fuel these enduring beliefs? Their immense bodies, camouflaged in the murky water, inspire awe and uncertainty, blurring the line between reality and legend. Visual overlays compare indigenous artwork to modern scientific reconstructions, revealing uncanny similarities in the depiction of scale, musculature and movement, suggesting that these myths may be grounded in careful, generations-long observation. The patterns and proportions bear striking similarities, hinting at a deep understanding of the environment, each motif a coded record of encounters with real, formidable serpents. Researchers deploy camera traps and underwater drones, their lenses probing the opaque depths, hoping to document evidence of outsized serpents, each expedition a blend of anticipation and scientific rigor. While most anacondas recorded fall short of legendary sizes, the vast unexplored waterways, labyrinths of hidden channels and flooded forests leave room for possibility and for the imagination to fill the gaps left by science. Subtle hints in the ecosystem, unexplained ripples, oversized tracks pressed into muddy banks, and fleeting shadows beneath the water reinforce the plausibility of giants lurking just out of sight. The abundance of prey, the labyrinthine flooded forests, and the sheer scale of the Amazon all support the existence of large predators, each element a piece of the puzzle that sustains these legends. Yet science tempers the myth. Genetic studies reveal no evidence of secret supersized species, and the largest snakes found, though impressive, are not the monsters of legend. DNA analysis and field measurements consistently point to known species, their limits defined by biology and environment. Still, the myths persist, woven into the rhythms of the river and the pulse of the forest. Each ripple and shadow a reminder of the unknown. They serve as warnings, as lessons in respect for the unknown, and as reminders that the Amazon's greatest secrets may always remain just out of reach, hidden beneath the surface, where reality and legend intertwine, and where the next discovery may yet await. The camera pulls back, mist curling through the treetops, as the echoes of ancient stories ripple across the water, a testament to the enduring power of the Amazon's mysteries, where every shadow may conceal a truth stranger than myth. Beneath the emerald canopy, the Amazon's giant snakes have ruled the waterways for millennia, apex predators perfectly attuned to the rhythms of flood and drought, their lives woven into the pulse of the world's largest rainforest. But now their ancient dominion faces a challenge no legend could predict: climate change. Aerial views reveal riverbanks receding, exposing cracked earth where water once flowed, the lifeblood of the forest slowly draining away. Satellite imagery overlays show the slow retreat of flooded forests, vital nurseries for both predator and prey. These seasonal wetlands, once vast and teeming, now shrink year by year, their boundaries redrawn by drought and heat. As seasonal rains grow unpredictable, the once steady rhythm of flood and drought is broken. The Amazon's hydrological heartbeat falters, leaving both land and water creatures in a state of uncertainty. Underwater, anacondas navigate shallow, fragmented channels, their massive bodies constrained by shrinking habitats. In some areas, prolonged droughts leave only isolated pools, traps for young snakes, where the risk of starvation, predation and fierce competition for dwindling resources grows with each passing day. The camera glides over scorched patches of forest, the aftermath of fires that once were rare but now rage with alarming frequency. Ash drifts into the rivers, clouding the water and suffocating aquatic life. The delicate balance of the ecosystem is disrupted as nutrients are lost and toxins accumulate, further stressing the creatures that depend on these waters. With each burn, the intricate web of the floodplain unravels, stripping away the cover and hunting grounds on which giant snakes depend. The river's branching arteries, once shaded and cool, become exposed and vulnerable to the relentless sun. Time-lapse visuals track rising water temperatures, a subtle yet profound shift. Warmer currents alter the distribution of fish and caimans, the primary prey for large anacondas. Some species, unable to tolerate the heat, migrate to cooler tributaries or perish, leaving the snakes to adapt or starve. The narration follows a lone anaconda as it glides through murky water, passing over bleached riverbeds and the skeletal remains of what was once a thriving ecosystem. The scarcity of prey forces these giants to travel farther, risking exposure and exhaustion. Climate change also brings new threats. Unfamiliar diseases and invasive species carried upriver by shifting currents and altered water flows. Macro shots reveal parasites clinging to snake scales, their numbers swelling as warmer waters favour their proliferation. Invasive fish and amphibians, once kept at bay by natural barriers, now spread unchecked, competing for food and space. Distant thunder heralds storms of unusual ferocity, flooding nests and scattering eggs. Torrential rains, once predictable, now arrive in violent bursts, washing away the next generation before it can hatch. Yet the Amazon's giants are nothing if not resilient. Archival footage shows anacondas adapting to new hunting strategies, seeking refuge in deeper, cooler pools, exploiting altered habitats, and shifting their diets to whatever prey remains. But the margin for survival grows thinner with every passing season, as the challenges multiply and the resources dwindle. The sequence ends with a sweeping panorama, the river winding through a patchwork of green and brown, its future uncertain. The once continuous rainforest now appears as a mosaic, lush green interspersed with barren scars, a living map of change and loss. Against this backdrop, a giant anaconda is silhouetted, partially hidden amid the fading rainforest, its vulnerability stark. The fate of the Amazon's legendary serpents hangs in the balance, a living testament to the reality that even the mightiest creatures are not immune to the relentless changes sweeping their ancient realm. In the heart of the Amazon, a revolution in wildlife tracking is underway. Advanced technology now pierces the dense green veil, illuminating secrets that have eluded science for centuries. The rainforest, once a realm of shadows and speculation, is now mapped and monitored with unprecedented clarity. Night vision drones, equipped with ultra-sensitive thermal sensors, glide silently above the winding rivers. Their cameras capture the faintest heat signatures, serpentine bodies weaving beneath the tangled canopy and submerged vines, invisible to the naked eye but unmistakable in the infrared spectrum. High-resolution satellites orbiting far above deliver real-time imagery of the Amazon's ever-shifting floodplains. These digital eyes trace the subtle migration corridors of giant snakes, mapping delicate trails that wind through flooded forests, pathways that would otherwise remain hidden beneath the dense foliage. Beneath the surface, autonomous underwater vehicles, sleek robotic explorers, navigate the labyrinthine waterways. Outfitted with advanced sonar arrays, they scan the murky depths, generating detailed acoustic maps that reveal the elusive movements of the Amazon's largest serpents. These sonar systems detect the faintest vibrations, tracing the silent passage of anacondas as they slip through submerged roots and rocky crevices. Each echo paints a ghostly outline, a fleeting glimpse of a giant in its hidden domain. With every sonar ping, a digital portrait emerges, an evolving silhouette that brings these rarely seen creatures into sharp scientific focus, their presence confirmed by data rather than rumour. On muddy riverbanks, researchers deploy biodegradable radio tags, each no larger than a grain of rice. These miniature marvels are carefully attached to freshly shed snake skins, ensuring zero disturbance to the animals themselves. When a tagged skin is discovered, the device transmits a burst of encrypted data, pinpointing the recent haunts of its former owner. This non-invasive method allows scientists to map the movements of elusive giants without ever laying eyes on them. In isolated research stations, banks of monitors display live migration data. Scientists analyze these digital trails, reconstructing hunting grounds and seasonal journeys across hundreds of square kilometers, an intricate puzzle assembled from signals and shadows. Environmental DNA samplers, ingeniously disguised as drifting leaves, float downstream with the current. These devices collect microscopic genetic traces left behind by passing snakes, blending seamlessly into the river's natural debris. In mobile field laboratories, advanced genetic sequencers analyze these samples, extracting the unique DNA fingerprints of rare and cryptic snake species. Even without a direct sighting, their presence is revealed at the molecular level. Through these invisible clues, researchers reconstruct the web of life in real time, charting the rise and fall of snake populations with a precision never before possible. Data visualizations overlay the river system, mapping changes as they unfold. Artificial intelligence, trained on vast datasets, sifts through terabytes of drone footage and sensor logs. It flags anomalies, a ripple in the reeds, a disturbance in the mud, subtle signs that might betray the passing of a giant snake. Machine learning algorithms analyze these patterns, adapting and refining their models with every new data point. They predict likely encounter hotspots, guiding future research and conservation efforts with remarkable accuracy. Every byte of information, every digital trace, brings us closer to understanding these ancient predators. Legends are transformed into measurable facts, and the boundaries of myth are redrawn by science. As the digital frontier expands, the Amazon's most enigmatic giants are no longer mere phantoms in the mist. Their stories are written in data, their presence confirmed by the silent witness of technology. With every technological breakthrough, the line between myth and reality blurs further. Humanity's vision sharpens, guided by the ever-watchful, ever-curious eyes of innovation, deep in the wild, where giants still roam. Beyond the tangle of roots and the shifting riverbanks lies a realm few have ever imagined. a world submerged in perpetual twilight, where the Amazon's waters conceal ecosystems as intricate as any rainforest canopy. Here, sunlight filters through layers of silt and leaf litter, creating a mosaic of dappled light that flickers across submerged forests and ancient riverbeds. In these shadowed depths, life takes on extraordinary forms, each uniquely adapted to the challenges of an underwater jungle. Schools of glass knife fish, nearly invisible in the murky water, navigate by generating electric fields, communicating in silent pulses, and sensing prey hidden beneath the substrate. Nearby, armoured catfish graze on algae-covered stones, their bony plates glinting like submerged relics. Giant river turtles, centuries old, drift silently among the roots, their shells camouflaged against the tangled debris, while freshwater stingrays, round and iridescent, flutter over the sandy bottom, stirring up clouds of sediment with every graceful sweep. Among these submerged logs, electric eels lurk in ambush, their bodies coiled and waiting. With a sudden twitch, they unleash powerful bursts of electricity, stunning unsuspecting fish and lighting up the water in a fleeting display of natural power. Tiny, jewel-bright poison dart frogs, born in flooded forest pools, cling to floating vegetation, their vibrant colours a warning in this world of hidden dangers. Even more elusive are the aquatic plants that form the backbone of these ecosystems. Towering water lilies, their pads spanning meters across, create floating islands that shelter juvenile fish and invertebrates. Beneath their broad leaves, labyrinths of roots provide both refuge and hunting ground for countless species. In the darkness below, rare carnivorous plants trap insect larvae, thriving in the nutrient-poor waters where few others can survive. The Amazon's hidden aquatic worlds pulse with life, each layer revealing new marvels. In pitch-black caverns, blind cave fish navigate by touch and taste, while translucent shrimp feed on organic detritus carried by the slow-moving current. Every crevice, every hollow log harbours a microcosm of biodiversity, an ever-shifting mosaic shaped by the river's endless ebb and flow. Here, in these unseen depths, the Amazon's true richness is revealed, not in the spectacle of giants alone, but in the quiet persistence of creatures perfectly attuned to their watery domain. As the camera glides through submerged forests and over riverbeds teeming with life, the interconnectedness of the Amazon's aquatic ecosystems becomes clear, a delicate balance hidden beneath the surface, sustaining the heartbeat of the world's greatest rainforest. Every year, the Amazon River transforms in a breathtaking display of nature's power. As distant rains swell the river's tributaries, water levels rise by as much as 40 feet, flooding vast swathes of forest and reshaping the landscape overnight. What was once solid ground vanishes beneath a slow-moving tide, creating a world where tree trunks become pillars in an underwater cathedral, and the boundary between land and water dissolves. For the Amazon's giant snakes, this seasonal flood pulse is both a challenge and an opportunity. As the waters creep into the forest, anacondas and other large serpents abandon their usual haunts, gliding through submerged undergrowth with effortless grace. The flooded forest, or vasia, becomes a vast new hunting ground, a labyrinth of roots and branches where prey is plentiful and ambushes can come from any direction. Fish, frogs and small mammals, displaced by the rising water, seek refuge on isolated patches of high ground or among floating mats of vegetation. Here the giant snakes lurk, perfectly camouflaged among the tangle of branches and drifting debris. Their muscular bodies ripple through the water, moving with silent precision as they close in on unsuspecting prey. Occasionally, a massive anaconda coils around a capybara or caiman, its strike swift and decisive, the struggle hidden beneath the opaque surface. The floodwaters also trigger a burst of life. Fish spawn in the nutrient-rich shallows, while amphibians lay eggs among the reeds. Juvenile snakes, newly hatched, take advantage of the abundance, slipping into the water to begin their own perilous journey. Yet, with opportunity comes risk. As the water rises, so do the dangers. Predators roam freely, and competition for food intensifies. Beneath the surface, the world is transformed. Sunlight filters through waterlogged leaves, dappling the snake's patterned scales and revealing the subtle hues that keep them hidden from both prey and rivals. Ancient logs submerged by the flood become highways for these secretive giants, allowing them to traverse great distances in search of food and mates. When the rains finally cease and the waters recede, the landscape is forever changed. New channels are carved, old ones erased. The giant snakes retreat to the shrinking pools and muddy banks, awaiting the next flood. A cyclical rhythm that has shaped their behavior, physiology, and survival for millennia. In the Amazon, the rising and falling of the river is more than a seasonal event. It is the pulse of life itself. For the giants that glide beneath its waters, the flood is both a test and a promise, an ever-renewing force that ensures their world remains as dynamic and mysterious as the creatures that call it home. Deep within the Amazon's submerged forests and winding channels, a complex web of life unfolds, each strand woven with precision, each connection vital to the ecosystem's stability. Here, apex predators reign at the pinnacle of the food web, their presence shaping the fate of countless species below. The green anaconda, silent and immense, glides through the flooded undergrowth, its movement barely disturbing the murky water. But it is not alone at the summit. Black caimans, with jaws powerful enough to crush bone, patrol the labyrinthine waterways. Their predatory gaze sweeps over schools of fish, capybaras, and even their serpentine rivals. In the shadows, giant river otters hunt in coordinated packs, their agility and intelligence making them formidable competitors. Each apex predator carves out a unique niche, their roles defined by ancient instinct and evolutionary adaptation. The anaconda's constriction brings swift, silent ends to its prey, while the caiman's ambush relies on explosive bursts of power. Otters, nimble and relentless, outmaneuver both reptile and fish, their sharp teeth and teamwork tipping the balance in their favour. Yet dominance comes with a price. Competition is fierce, and the boundaries between hunter and hunted blur in the Amazon's depths. Young caimans fall victim to anacondas, while juvenile snakes may be snatched by otters. Even the mighty are vulnerable, their lives governed by the delicate equilibrium of abundance and scarcity. Below them, the cascade continues. Piranhas strip flesh from bone in seconds, armoured catfish scour the riverbed, and electric eels pulse through the gloom, stunning, unwary prey. Each predator, from the smallest to the largest, is both a threat and a guardian, regulating populations, preventing outbreaks, and sustaining the intricate dance of survival. In this realm, strength is tempered by caution, and every meal is hard-won. The apex predators of the Amazon do not rule alone. They are bound to the rhythms of flood and drought, to the cycles of birth and death. Their dominance is not absolute, but part of a living tapestry, one where every strand is essential and the fate of giants is inseparable from the river that sustains them. As the waters rise and fall, the balance persists. The Amazon's giants glide through their ever-changing world, shaping and being shaped by the intricate web of life that thrives beneath the surface. Beyond the well-mapped arteries of the Amazon lie veins of water that twist into darkness, remote tributaries and concealed channels, shrouded by dense canopy and centuries of secrecy. These unexplored river branches, snaking through untouched rainforest, remain largely invisible even to satellite eyes. Their waters, tinted by tannins and silt, flow silently beneath curtains of mist and tangled vines, revealing little of the secrets they guard. As the camera glides above the labyrinthine waterways, the sheer scale of the unknown becomes clear. Tributaries split and rejoin, vanishing into flooded forests where sunlight barely penetrates. Here, the river's course can shift with each rainy season, carving out new paths, isolating pockets of life, and creating natural laboratories for evolution. Visuals reveal swirling eddies, submerged tree roots, and hidden oxbow lakes, each a world unto itself. Within these secluded channels, entire ecosystems flourish in isolation. Unique species of fish, amphibians and reptiles may evolve, adapting to the quirks of their microhabitats. Scientists speculate that in these unexplored reaches, ancient lineages endure, creatures that eluded both extinction and human discovery. The interplay of currents and barriers fosters diversity as populations become genetically distinct over generations. The possibilities are tantalizing. Unseen plants cling to floating islands, their roots trailing in nutrient-rich water. Uncatalogued insects flit between flowers, pollinating in the perpetual twilight. Rare mammals, like river dolphins and dwarf manatees, may navigate these remote corridors unseen by human eyes for decades. The camera lingers on the water's surface, hinting at the presence of elusive giants below. A flash of scaled skin, a ripple where none should be. Every unexplored branch is a frontier, holding the promise of new discoveries and the thrill of the unknown. The Amazon's hidden waterways remind us that even in an age of satellites and sonar, vast realms remain uncharted. In these silent corridors, nature still writes its own mysteries, waiting for the world to catch up. Amidst the tangled waterways and shadowed forests of the Amazon, a silent battle for survival unfolds, not just for the river's legendary giants, but for the entire ecosystem that sustains them. Conservation efforts in the Amazon are as vast and complex as the rainforest itself, shaped by the region's immense scale, biological diversity, and the deep-rooted challenges that threaten its future. Aerial shots transition to sweeping vistas of protected reserves, their boundaries marked only by the subtle shift from lush green to scars of deforestation. These sanctuaries are the front lines of conservation, encompassing millions of hectares of critical habitat, but often fragmented and isolated by encroaching development. The camera glides low over these reserves, revealing the intricate networks of rivers and oxbow lakes that serve as vital refuges for anacondas and other apex predators. In these protected enclaves, conservationists deploy a range of non-invasive monitoring techniques. Hidden camera traps, strategically placed along muddy banks and submerged logs, silently record the presence of giant snakes, capturing fleeting glimpses as they glide through the water or bask on sun-dappled shores. Drones equipped with thermal imaging sweep across nighttime wetlands, detecting the subtle heat signatures of cold-blooded giants moving beneath the surface. Cut to underwater visuals. eDNA sampling devices drift with the current, collecting microscopic traces left behind by elusive reptiles. This cutting-edge approach allows researchers to confirm the presence of giant snakes without disturbing their habitat, providing crucial data on population size, genetic diversity, and movement patterns. Yet these efforts face formidable obstacles. The Amazon's sheer immensity defies comprehensive surveillance, and the secretive nature of its largest inhabitants makes direct observation rare. Fragmentation from logging, mining, and agriculture creates isolated pockets of habitat, threatening the genetic health of snake populations and disrupting their ancient migratory routes. Pollution, both chemical and plastic, seeps into waterways, contaminating the prey base on which these giants rely. The visuals shift to satellite images, highlighting the relentless advance of deforestation and the shrinking corridors that connect vital habitats. Invasive species introduced by human activity compete with native fauna and alter the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Meanwhile, illegal wildlife trade poses a hidden threat, with rare snakes sometimes targeted for their skins or as exotic pets. Through all this, the Amazon's conservation story is one of adaptation and resilience. International collaborations support anti-poaching patrols and habitat restoration, while local communities engage in sustainable land management that benefits both people and wildlife. Scientific research, powered by technology and indigenous knowledge, continues to reveal new insights into the lives of the rainforest's most enigmatic predators. The camera lingers on a tranquil stretch of river, sunlight filtering through the canopy as the narrative closes. The fate of the Amazon's giant snakes is inseparable from the health of the rainforest itself. Protecting these apex predators means safeguarding the intricate web of life that sustains them, a challenge as monumental as the river and as urgent as the next rising flood. Long before the first shadow of a giant snake glided through the Amazon's waters, the land itself was in motion. Begin with sweeping aerials of the rainforest's endless canopy, then dissolve to ancient stone outcrops, silent witnesses to an earth in flux. The Amazon basin, now a world of tangled green, was once the floor of a vast inland sea. Over millions of years, tectonic forces heaved and folded the Earth's crust, birthing the distant Andes and sending torrents of sediment eastward. Visuals transition to animations of shifting continents and rising mountain chains, rivers carving new paths across the land. Each epoch left its mark vast wetlands, ancient floodplains, and isolated plateaus, each a cradle for unique forms of life. Cut to slow pans across fossilized trees and petrified logs, remnants of prehistoric forests that once towered where rivers now flow. Beneath the surface, cross-sections reveal labyrinths of mineral-rich soils, nourishing today's dense vegetation and supporting a web of creatures found nowhere else on Earth. The camera glides over Blackwater and Whitewater rivers, their contrasting hues a legacy of the land's ancient chemistry. Blackwater, stained by tannins and flowing over sandy soils, fosters one set of species. Whitewater, born from Andean silt, supports another. Each river system, shaped by millions of years of geological change, serves as a living laboratory for evolution. Zoom in on the intricacies of leaf litter and submerged roots, where rare amphibians and fish have adapted to microhabitats carved by the slow hand of time. Above, the forest canopy is a patchwork of ancient ridges and valleys, corridors for migration and isolation alike, fueling a relentless engine of speciation. As twilight falls, the forest glows with the subtle light of bioluminescent fungi clinging to ancient stones, living relics of an unbroken chain stretching back to the dawn of life in the Amazon. In this ceaseless dance between stone, water and life, the Amazon's geological past continues to shape its present, crafting the mosaic of habitats that harbour the rainforest's strangest and most spectacular giants. Here, every twist of the river and rise of the forest floor is a memory of ancient cataclysms, a silent architect of the world's greatest reservoir of biodiversity.